Hello, welcome to Kenshi, a real-time strategy sandbox RPG. If you haven't heard of Kenshi in 2025, I can't help you with that. All you have to know is the game's amazing. A major role of the game's success is being the map, and the environment, and the uniqueness of where Kenshi takes place. So I wanted to ask, what happens if we take away the map and restrict ourselves to a rather small environment filled with endgame enemies, and we just see how far we can take our character. Let's see how far we can go.
We're gonna be doing that one, and then we're just gonna run to the pit.
Now, instead of doing the Ashlands like a lot of people might think, I want to go to a different part of the map that's still close. I wanted to go around the pits, and not only just the pits, but as you can see on the map I'm going to show, we have the pits east, the crags, Stove's Garden, and Green Beach. These are all areas I can go to, as well as the Sonorous Stark, where Savant Space is. Deciding to choose a skeleton will help me out a lot later in the run, seeming as they don't need any food to survive, and food is a hard commodity out in the pits, as well as the extra hit points will make the solo run a lot more possible and a lot easier on my sanity. With that being said, let's move on and welcome Pitbull into this world, and we'll get ready to talk about my goals for this run.
Should we just give him, the good old anime stance? I think we should just do that.
Pitbull is being forged in the hottest forges of the skeleton factories being created. I want to talk about a couple goals I have for this run. My first goal is to get a skeleton repair kit. My second goal is to make a base. And my third and final goal is to take down at least 2 of the faction leaders, if not all of them, in this area. I downloaded a Better Starts mod, which allows me to start in the Ashlands as a skeleton. This makes the run a hell of a lot easier, whereas I don't need to be running from the border zone or maybe even Venge, and I can just run from the Ashlands straight north into the pits. But getting there and into the pits from the Ashlands proved to be a harder challenge than I initially thought it would be.
Let me pause the game before I get dead.
Yapping my own ear off, talking about the challenge in my head, I finally decided to take the lunge and to run to the pits for the first time.
Goals for sure is I want to take out at least 2 of the factions there. I know there's the Reavers, Crab Raiders, Skin Bandits, and Skeleton Bandits. I want to take out at least 2, maybe 1.
First run into the pits. I skipped paused recording and waited until I got there, but I actually got hit along the way. So this run, I'm just gonna spoil it right now, was futile. As you can see, my character was bleeding out, and I couldn't find a skeleton repair kit in that quick a time. So I'm just gonna show a little bit of it and kind of what happens. But I do eventually die and have to run all the way back. In fact, I ran about 3 times from the Ashlands to the pits until I just decided to save with undamaged skeleton, and that way I don't have to ever do that run ever again.
Now our chest is at 31.
See, barely into where we started, and I'm already on the floor. Kind of shows how this run will go, especially for the first 10 days. But after that, the tides kind of switch. It's kind of cool to see.
We made it. We did it. We're in the pits. Got there unscathed. I snuck a little bit, and then I decided to run the rest of the way. But right now we're gonna save the game, and we're gonna not ever have to do that again, because that's ridiculous.
So after finally making it to the pits and saving my video game, my first objective was to find a skeleton repair kit. That way if I get downed, I can hopefully get back up and heal myself and start from there. After waiting until nighttime, I decided to finally head inland while training my sneak. My first chance at finding a skeleton repair kit at an outpost laying within a giant ravine. So I make it to the armory. I walk up to the door and it was unlocked, so I just helped myself in. I figured out that from a previous run I didn't change some settings. So I look in and I see one spider, you know, and I don't think it's that big of an issue. And I look in and I'm like, there's way too many spiders. Turns out I forgot to change the population for towns and outposts. It was doubled. There's probably like 30 spiders in here. As you can see, I open up the pause menu and I was correct. The global population for squads was in fact doubled, so I turned that down. Pitbull, deciding he's all that, figured that his sneak was high enough so we could just sneak in. I look into the chest, I didn't find anything here, so I'll just run the clip of me looking through the armory, but to be honest I didn't find anything in here at all.
We're gonna have to be risky. All for fuel. This is the game. You know, it's a give and take. I have no chance of unlocking any of those at all. None at all. That's it. Like, hell yeah, 2 cats. I don't want this to be like sneaking around the whole time, but you gotta find your way up, and oh my god, they're everywhere. I don't know if there's anything we can do here. I don't know what's lootable. I don't know. Oh, we may be in luck. Okay, I know what we're doing. We're sneaking out before that spider sees me, before any of.
Pitbull deciding that the army just wasn't worth it. He decides to leave, and I had a couple options of where I could go, but recent gameplay of other runs and just remembering where some points of interest are, decided to go to meet our first faction in Faction HQ, which was the Skeleton Bandits. They have Iron HQ, which, figuring since they're people trying to be skeletons, there may be a chance that they have skeleton repair kits. So I decided to run over there. Making it to Iron HQ, this is what it is, this is what it looks like. Literally a bunch of humans that act like skeletons. They're very weird. They don't really give me the heebie-jeebies as much as another faction here, but it's almost cult-like. Now inside the building, I decide to present myself to the faction leader. His name is Elder, and he's the guy that somehow brainwashed all these people to think they're skeletons. So I just walk up to him, give him a little stare down, and I see what they have for me to grab.
See if there's a skeleton repair kit.
And I did not realize this initially at first, but if you see on the top of the screen, we have skeleton repair beds. A whole bunch of them. So I didn't realize at first, but you obviously hear me point them out and say something. I was quite excited for that too, and I could just run up to it and lay into it, so that gets rid of that problem for now. After looting and finding out they really had nothing, not even the chest upstairs had anything, Pitbull was just meandering about, and he found our first goal of this run, and boy was it a big one. Good amount.
Oh! Hello!
Yeah, so we found skeleton repair kits, and like 8 of them too, and tools. So I was really excited to find this chest. I was kind of surprised that this was probably the best chest they had in the whole building. They didn't really have a lot. Not a lot of good loot to be had here, but I was just very excited. As you can see, Pitbull was excited too because he found all of the repair kits in the world that he could ever need for the entire run.
That's cool. That's good.
Before I figured out that you could just honestly take anything without them caring, I was worried that they would find me, so I decided to keep looking down through the bottom loot table. Usually with this game, the higher you are, the better the loot, but that wasn't the case here. I decided to go out and loot the buildings outside before I actually grab a skeleton repair kit. The first chest I found was pretty cool. I got the first weapon of the run and a cool crossbow as well as an arm, which I actually didn't grab, unfortunately. To be honest, the buildings didn't really have anything else other than those items in the first chest in the first building I found. So I decided rather be safer than sorrier, or something like that, whatever they say. I decided to train thievery. This was the second skill I decided to train. I'm not going to show you, but essentially, you sit down, you drop a bunch of items, and you pick them back up over and over again, and apparently that makes you better at stealing. But for me, that's never personally worked. Pitbull, he chose a cactus and a chest piece for his items to steal over and over again, and it worked fine for him. So maybe learn how to steal from Pitbull, not me. 6 minutes later of just picking up items off the ground and putting them back on the ground, I decided to finally go in and attempt to steal the skeleton kit. You don't have to do this. You can take anything you want in this in this base or tower, and nobody inside will give a shit at all. And after that victory, absolute smash, absolute win of a haul, I decided to go check out Green Beach. Maybe. I decided why not. I've never been to Green Beach. That was a mistake. It was a mistake to go to Green Beach. Never go to Green Beach. There's nothing there at all. It's full of hatred and despair. Nobody likes Green Beach. But anyways, I chose to go to Green Beach, fortunately. Here's the stats. Nothing too special. Nothing very important so far. So, the biggest one being the stealth. On our way to Green Beach, Pitbull discovered a settlement. This settlement would be owned by the Crab Raiders. Personally, my favorite little crew. I was allied with them in a previous run. They're the only people I allied with. But as you can see in the distance, I looked at the settlement. Something bad happens to that settlement, and I blame it on Green Beach. Yeah. Along the way, I find a tower, and I decide to check it out. The door is open. Very inviting, right? I decide to walk in, sneaking, of course, not thinking anything of it, and I was immediately jumped by, like, 10 blood spiders. That's not good. This is not good. This is why Pitbull hates blood spiders, and you know what? I hate blood spiders, too. What are we doing here? Drop that. Let's go. Try to drop these boys off. We'll take them back to the crab village. Now this is the massacre of the crab town. I start running back to the settlement. Land bats came by, so I was like, cool. All the blood spiders decided to fight the land bats. I decided to go back inside thinking that I got rid of all of them. Nope, there was one left. Just sitting there. This is just the beginning. One left, and there is a safe. So I had to check it out. I had to get rid of that one blood spider, and he somehow saw me downstairs. He saw Pitbull. They're very keen. But even after trying to lure him out, he would not come out of that tower. He stood his ground hard. He buried his feet in the cement and would not leave this tower. after trying to lure him many times. In fact, he went back upstairs, all the way, all the way to the top, and I decided to fight him, lure him out more. He just wouldn't budge. He really wouldn't. As you can see, he stops chasing as soon as you leave. I feel like that's those little things that this game does. Like, yeah, all of them will come out and rush at you, except for one. After deciding that I could sneak past him, looks like he kind of forgot about me. I dropped all my gear and ran up to the safe, and I couldn't even lock it. So I had to use tools. I had to sit here for 8 hours while the stupid blood spider was just down there waiting for me. I felt like he knew, but at the same time he just didn't want me to know that he knew. I feel like he was playing games. But from the skeleton bandits, obviously, it says it was stolen from them. I grabbed some tools and I decided to use them immediately on this chest. After using the tools from the chest, it was kind of worth it. I got 3 skeleton repair kits, and that was about the only useful thing I needed. Nothing else in there was really good. In fact, this for what's in this tower is an absolute waste of time, and I love it. This is what Kenshi's about, people. You think a really hard tower's gonna have good loot in it? Well, it's full of blood spiders. Why would it have good loot in it? Anyways, back to grabbing my loot down the stairs. I sneak past the spider and I decide to leave. An odd change of plans that actually kind of helped get this run started a little bit faster was I found bounty hunters, and I decided to use the follow mechanic in this game, where you just follow the NPC you choose. And I followed these guys for a little bit. We had a fun adventure. I like as I look to the left of the screen. One of the blood spiders became a pretty big issue for my crew. Already one of them was limping. Well, it wasn't looking good for the bounty hunter crew at all. This was my first bit of action. I decided I can't remember what I did. We're about to see. I do. We decided to fight the skeleton bandits. I didn't want to at first because I don't want them to hate me. I want to be able to walk in their base, at least for the time being, to use the repair beds, which I actually ended up using quite a bit before I got my own. I got my ass handed to me many times. And that's one of the cool things about a solo player, you know. So here's Pitbull fighting.
One down. Yes. This is where it begins. Oh, scavengers now.
A group of scavengers then comes up. They're easier than the skeleton bandits, and they have less armor. So I was like, heck yeah. I got my first KO right there, and this guy in the crossbow really didn't know what he was doing. Apparently it's not a lot to show up out here in the wastelands as a skeleton.
Double the health, so. Lock. Bam. Our first fight. I have a couple mods for combat animations, and I have also the dark GUI, because what kind of man doesn't? What kind of man doesn't have the dark GUI? And the bounty guards are coming.
After a fight and a questionable rant about the mods I had, we go on to the next wave of scavengers.
Ouch. Ouch. Don't worry, our buddy's in. Just hang out with people stronger than us, and we'll be fine. See, look at that. 5 already. Ouch. Dodge up. Ouch. We're getting pretty low here. Hopefully our buddies can help us out. Took down another one. I wonder if any of these guys had like regular bows. If not, we're gonna just have to. I think that's the spring bat. I think let's see what you got. Yeah. So we're just gonna.
That was essentially the first fight done. I did pretty well. I didn't get knocked down, which is always nice. getting those toughness levels in before you get knocked out usually helps you survive a little bit. It's definitely a hard one to try to beat as a solo. As you can see, my bounty hunters clear them up pretty well. They heal, continue on, and be on their merry way. I choose to follow them still. Coming up with the most creative squad name ever introduced to Kenshi. I named my squad Pitbull, and the faction of what Pitbull rules over is of the pits. I know, it's very creative. I'm gonna include this little section where I update and show you all of my stats after the first fight.
-16, so we can take bags. Wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got really sick of following those guys around. I decided to go my own way now and explore more of the crags, but I got into a little scuffle with somebody. I didn't really know who it was until it was too late.
What the fuck? Oh yes.
Thinking it was the Reavers, I thought it was Reavers,
That
but it turns out it was
scavengers
just a
are
couple of scavengers, which the bounty hunters took care of before I even got there. But after this, I then run on my own. I turned around actually to give them help because they really needed it. They needed the help.
Just keep following.
They needed the help with skeleton, and Pitbull tried to provide it for them. They didn't want it, so I just decided to loot or pick up for strength training. Being on your own is quite scary. I decided to fight some skeleton bandits. I don't know whose bone dog that was, but let's just say after trying to fight these skeleton bandits, I got my ass handed to me, of course. But this is where the toughness comes into play. I was able to reboot and actually save myself from dying, not the other way around. Bounty hunters were still around, and it looks like they weren't as good as I was, but they were able to get up before me and continue to get their ass handed to by the skeleton bandits. I was a little worried because while my character was recovering, Reavers did show up, and they walked up to me and started enslaving me, which wasn't good. They took my armor and anything before I could realize, so I had to drop it. I dropped all my stuff, so they didn't take it. They took my pants though, which is kind of weird, but nonetheless, now I'm sleeping on the floor, unconscious, and waiting to recover. And they won't heal me. They'll enslave me, but they won't heal me. After getting up and healing, I found some of the Reaver bandits that attacked me in the first place. It started off with just a Reaver slave, but all of them came around the corner. I got knocked out pretty quick. I paused the game. I did a little scummy thing, and I dropped my gear because I didn't want them to grab it, because I would never get that katana back. And you see, I had it in my hand, so technically, when I got knocked out, technically I just dropped it on the floor, right? After sneaking past the Reavers, I got really excited to sneak into the valley. Apparently, recording session me was very excited to be slinking through the valleys. I just wanted to put this part here because I was very excited. I don't know why though. Like I was singing when I was recording this. I'm not gonna show it, but I was definitely singing about being in the valleys. This spot's cool though. I thought about setting up base here. Since you know it's kind of like an open spot with only 3 ways in. Now, thinking Iron HQ was really good for this run. Well, here's another really great spot for this run. Expedition 4. It's a ruin. Had a lot of building materials, and it also had skeleton repair kits here too. So I could have just gone here in theory. But you know what? The Iron HQ and sneaking in and stealing all their things, that was cool too. After partially looting Expedition 4, I found some building materials, iron plates, books. I decided to make my base right now. I decided to get going on that, get that process going. Building a base as a solo in this game takes such a long time, so, you know, the earlier I started it, the earlier I would get it done, the earlier I could have my own skeleton repair bed, and then the earlier I could, you know, be fully self-sufficient for the most part.
is cool. If I could get a backpack, that'd be even cooler. Okay, alright, well, it became clear what we want to do. Um, we'll do a fat.
After grabbing some materials and deciding to build my base right then and there, I found a good place with great stone quantity and stone quality, and I got to work on making Pitbull's humble abode. After making the stone mine and the stone processing little machine and getting my small shack down, I began doing the very long task of mining the stone and then processing it with only one character and then building the house. I'm not gonna record any of the building. I'm gonna be so dead ass. This is the only part you're seeing. Me just getting it started. It's not fun to watch. It's really not. As Pitbull was building his base, I got a notification that skin bandits for a skin harvest were en route.
Which is kind of funny because we're a skeleton.
So I wonder how that's gonna work. They're making their way towards us now. I'm just sitting here finding my stone. Need building materials. So I wonder if they're gonna attack us or not. Definitely can't. Skin bandits are by far the strongest factions out here.
So let's just keep a close eye on them. Okay, work on that. Oh, it's spinning. Cool. How cool is that? Well, I'm very curious. Oh, they're down in the valley.
I was nervous for them to arrive because I wasn't sure if they were gonna still attack me or not. But I was thinking that since I'm a skeleton and skin bandits don't really attack skeletons, I was thinking everything should be good. Getting ready for the confrontation that could happen, I prepared Pitbull for a fight. And this is what they introduced themselves with.
Oh boy.
Starting off with their weird introduction of come out fellow flesh brothers. I actually figured out I was able to talk to them, and they actually tried to recruit me and told me to go see their boss down in the Sonar of Stark. Part of me really wanted to fight them, but seeming as skin bandits is like incredibly strong because they are skeletons. I didn't really want to do all of that, especially at my base and away from a skeleton repair bed. But it was cool that they didn't attack us, and just you could probably build a base out here or in the Sonar Stark and be fairly off if you're just a skeleton. But if you're a skeleton, you can build a base pretty much anywhere.
This solo house building is probably the worst thing you can do. It's very time consuming. We need a backpack. I don't even know how we're gonna get a backpack.
Complaining about solo house building in Kenshi and how time consuming it is, and thinking about how I can get a backpack for better storage, I place my first tier research bench and get back to mining. When morning came upon day 7, I found an ex-slave just wandering through my base. Him being hostile towards me out of anything and trying to attack me, I decided to pull out my crossbow and shoot him right in the dome, and he learned his lesson real quick of why you don't mess with people with crossbows in this game.
Good for you, buddy. You're probably gonna die. Oh no, I don't know how he's unconscious then. I didn't do anything to get him out of commission. Or I didn't knock any of his hit points below 0. But pits, we don't die. By pits, stoves guard it, because if it was just the pits, we could literally have those two places. But this whole area is kind of the same. I want to check out Green Beach, but it's just a bunch of crabs up there. I don't really want to deal with any of that. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for bad things to happen to my buddy. Oh, another building material. Excellent. Land bats. Perfect. Can we just be like, that'll be cool. Who's the leader? This guy be like the tag. No, they're too far. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I don't even know where that guy came from, but you know, that's just how it works, I guess. Just need one more building material and we're halfway there, so let's get that tech bill. Okay, so the last building material is about to be built, and then we can finally stop sitting here and messing with things. Or messing with the lack of things, I should say. Because, yeah, we don't need to do any of that anymore for right now. Last one, and then we can put the books in there, and that'll be great. I really want to find a scavenger with a scavenger backpack, you know, but I just can't. But now we have storage, so that's cool. We're gonna keep the spring bat with us and hopefully take advantage of it. Tag. I don't know. We just walked by. Bounty hunters. Huh. How's your sneak, buddy? Injuries. -1 because of injuries. I'm pretty sure you don't get any XP when you... Oh. What did that bring it up to then? Stat 5. Oh, perfect. We can definitely get some training with this. Oh, but they're all faster. Shoot him in his leg.
Crossbow I found from the skeleton bandits. I decided to go out and fight anybody that came through my base. As you can see, we have a group of bounty hunters, and I failed to take them down. Let's just say, incredibly.
Personally. Yeah, buddy, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But nonetheless, Pitbull would always get back up, heal himself up, pick up all of his items, and just get right back to work.
Our skeleton repair kits. Bounty hunters don't play, bruh. Don't play. Yeah, they got skills in the 50s. Mid 50s, probably to 60s. That's crazy. But now we got storage. So that's good. I want to see, is there anything else we want to grab from this place before we leave? Storage is a big one. Especially since we don't have a backpack, but we want to stockpile things and not always run out. I mean, we could grab iron plate. We can grab building materials, but those are just gonna stay here. So, not really a point in that at all. And let's go explore Stobe's Garden. Let's head deeper into Stobe's Garden. It's the place we haven't checked out. We have Stobe's Garden, the Pits East, and Green Beach to check out. I want to check out Green Beach, but last time I was there, I got killed and dismembered by a bunch of crabs. a very alien biome in Kenshi. Stove's Garden's kind of cool because it has a behemoth in it.
Early
Stove,
morning of day 8, I
which is
decided I
basically
got
a
really bored
skeleton the
of
size of a
building the
building.
base, and I decided to go
And he
explore
was,
Stove's garden for a little
really
bit
chill.
and talk about the cool lore behind it within Kenshi.
Oh, check out Stove. As you can see, Stove is up there. We might as well go check out Stove.
On my way to the giant old skeleton, dodging a group of reavers, I find Stove, an old behemoth skeleton which was made back in the First Empire, thousands of years ago. He's pretty important to the lore of Kenshi, and if you ever want to find out more about him, you can always watch videos. But I just think it's super cool that this is just here, in the middle of nowhere. But that's where he is on the map. After leaving Stove himself, I found some black dragon getting in the distance. I decided to engage Pitbull into some combat against these ninjas. They're pretty easy. They're kind of like mid-20s, high 30s level, so it'd be a great experience for him. And as you can see with the new camera Kenshi added, that allows you kind of like to free fly. We're just gonna watch him fight a little bit. I'm not gonna do this with every fight, but it's a cool thing, and I did record a lot of fights in this format. What's cool about fighting people with katanas as a skeleton is they do less damage to you. You're able to take more hits, and they're able to do less damage to your final KO, which means I'm able to get up a lot more and look at my toughness when I get back up and train that quicker as well. So getting back up after the first round, I decided to heal Pitbull up and just go back at it again. Katanas do a lot of bleed damage, not a lot of blunt damage, so I'm able to fully rebound and come back almost max health every time we fight. We'll continue to chase him down. What's nice about solos? So fast. This is solo character. You gotta love it. I like it. I'll just sit here and watch this as our first real fight because, you know, why not? Decided to chase them down and get right back to the combat training process, bringing good XP. Come on, Pitbull. I believe I had a Pitbull and block this little bit just to train his melee defense. I'm trying to like find a good fight angle. Oh my god. Oh boy. Just all the dialogue in the background, that's great. Oh shit.
seconds. Toughness went up to 25 though, just from that fight alone. And if we look at our stats here now after that one fight, our melee defense is 42, and it's only day 3. Now, if they stayed in the area, we could grind toughness so fast, get it so high, so quick. But there's not. So our melee defense is 42, which is just crazy. But you know, it's not how it's working. It looks like we can not block all the attacks, and I think that has to do with the attack animations mod I have downloaded. It's hard for them to register the attacks sometimes, I think. Is it just one Reaver? No. Medic. What happened? I really want to know. What happened? So curious what happened over there, but you know, I heard a bone draw. I heard a growl. Oh, land bats. What the hell happened? Holy shit. Huh. Fill yourself up. We gotta figure out what's going on over here. I'm so curious. And all these slaves are making good.
After finally getting knocked down, Pitbull and I found some Reavers down the way, and it looks like that they fought some land bats and they canceled each other out, but I was still cautious. We don't want Pitbull getting enslaved. That would really suck because it would take my weapons.
Their armor's bad. And we can make a stop at Iron HQ to heal up, maybe, on our hit points, because we're getting kind of hammered. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Hammered just a little bit. Just for that, no food for a week. Yelp. Whelp. A whelp? I don't even know whelp. Reavers are cool, I guess. No, I hate them. Come here. Attack him. Ranged, get on his ass.
Wanting to train Pitbull's crossbow skill, which really doesn't come into any value later in the run, I decided to start just shooting him with my spring bat I picked up somewhere, and I don't know where my crossbow went, but you know, just playing this along, standing here shooting at each other. Whoever gets down
Both suck.
first.
You gonna get him? What does he have? Oh, he's perfect. Nice. Okay, now you close the gap. Close the gap. Move on over there. Get his ass.
Yeah, we're just both standing here shooting each other with the crossbow. I decided to finally engage the Reaver, and it doesn't really go as I really wanted it to.
Okay.
My leg was broken, so I couldn't run at all. He shot my leg more than anything else,
Just
knocking me down.
get up. Heal.
I finally knocked him down. He wasn't really too strong.
That's great.
And you just look at all the short cleavers he has, which is kind of weird because, well, how did he get all of those short cleavers? I decided just to go on my merry way and keep exploring.
Our first solo fight against a Reaver Blooded because our melee defense is so high, but I think that it's attacking with this. Just amount of damage. Thought it was your proficiency with that weapon, or your efficiency. Maybe dexterity comes into it too. Dexterity is probably a big one. You're fully healed though. We're gonna start picking these guys as locks just to keep the grind moving. And if we get shackled us up as we see a bunch of reavers in the distance. Oh, why is he so fast? Shoot him. Shoot him, hit him. How the fuck did he hit me with that short sword? Nice. He's bleeding bad. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Perfect. Oh, old world mark. And I have a specialist one too. This is just a shoddy one. Perfect. Unlock the shackles. Continue training, lockpicking. Hopefully none of these guys just up and join us. I just want their XP. We're supposed to leave the cage. Shut up. Oh my god. Those land bats. Perfect. See, now we're getting better at unlocking the shackles. So that's always a good thing. I mean, those arrows are gonna be a hot commodity. Okay. Oh. Somebody's mad at us up here. I don't know, but somebody. Let's head back to Iron HQ. No, Iron HQ is fine. Head back there. If we can get some stealth equipment, we can definitely go rob and steal places. I think I'm probably gonna steal somewhere from Iron HQ, but I'll see everyone when we actually get there. Okay, and nearing in on Iron HQ, we're back. After taking the whole day to run to Iron HQ, I decided to come back and heal myself from the fighting. If you look at my chest, throughout this whole run, I would always get knocked down by my chest. I get real frustrated at some points because my head would be at 200, which has no armor, and then my chest would be at like 50, and they would just keep hitting my chest. So I come back and decide to heal up my a pit bull boy here because he hurt a lot. Our mission is to destroy all humans. Join us and we can converse about the histories and polish our nuts by the campfire. Go find elders, speak with them. Now you are unlost. You can continue our mission. As I was sitting in the skeleton bed, you can see I'm just reading how the armor's working in Kenshi. Down by my chest the most. Like there's a big, like there isn't a lot of variety. There's just a whole bunch of, like, you can go, like you can have the best armor, but people are just gonna keep repeatedly hitting your stomach over and over again. I feel like there is a safe up here. Can we even take that off? I don't think we can. Can we pick the lock through here? That is funny. That is funny. We'll see if we can get away with this. People back at it again with some mischievous activities. I decided to cut into Elder's safe up here for all the great loot it has to hold. And a whole day of cutting. Like 8 hours of cutting into the safe. You wouldn't believe what Pitbull found. He finds a long cleaver and 2 iron plates, electronic, and whatever the other things are. And I don't even know what those are. But this was probably the worst safe I've ever opened. Wasted my tools on that. Give me my tools back. Give me. it's really down there.
After leaving Iron HQ, I found a dead bounty hunter and I took his sleeveless long coat and decided to go back to home and do some research with him in there and train off of him for a little bit. After getting bored of my responsibilities and deciding to avoid them, researching only item storage, I'd start thinking about taking Pitbull to the pits east to go out and about and keep training him up because anything would be better than sitting in here and learning about gear storage. After leaving bright and early day 10 and walking through the Mojave Desert in Arizona, because that's what this place looks like, we decided to head to the pits east and see lightning, which was kind of crazy. Walking through giant ruins, it started raining too as we entered the pits east. I was pretty excited, and this place is not exactly what I remembered it. My biggest thing for coming out to the pits east was definitely to get some training in. I actually brought that long cleaver from Iron HQ and started to use it, but it's not in the party for very long. Pitbull didn't have to wait long because some gurglers came up to fight Pitbull, and these guys are pretty weak, but there's a lot of them, and they do martial arts, which means they do blunt damage, so that sucks for Pitbull. As you can see, instead of my health being red, it's grayed out, which means it takes a lot longer to recover in Kenshi. Deciding halfway through this fight to just rather fight with his katana, does a lot better than he did with the long cleaver, because that weapon just sucks in Kenshi. After fighting with some gurglers and dying, scavengers came out, and I decided to shoot those guys. Got a couple down. You can see crab raiders also showed up. It was just a big fight, and I wanted to get involved, but the gurglers already hurt me so much. It sucks fighting a bunch of people that always hit your chest consistently, and you can see my chest is 2 throughout this whole fight, so I'm just going down a whole bunch, but there's no reavers, so it should be great. I shouldn't get enslaved or anything, and it should just be great toughness XP. So you can see my toughness is 39 on day 10. When I was at Stobe, my toughness was 18, so your toughness can go up really quickly as long as you see currently while I'm playing dead is you spam getting up, and you can see my toughness went up to 41. And even at high levels, you could usually get your toughness to 100 pretty quickly. Just never play dead. Fight, I ran, tried to heal up a little bit, and I just always found myself with more scavengers, and they were more my level, so I'm fighting these guys now, and they're beating the fuck out of me, as I just said. But they get me down, and they don't enslave me, and they don't steal any weapons, so that's always a good one. Between the cycle of getting knocked down, getting back up, healing, fighting, I found a workshop. This is the Pits East workshop, Deadlands workshop, Dead workshop. You know, the one with the whole missing chunk out of the floor. And inside I see some fighting between Reavers and the broken skeletons that guard the workshop. And I was pretty excited to loot in here. Even with no lockpicking experience, there's usually like a staircase you can build up if you're lucky enough to unlock everything in here. And I was able to do that. But throughout all of my looting, it was, a lot of fighting between a lot of factions. It was really crazy, but it was a lot of experience.
There we go. Oh, 39. How are these soldier bots doing? Oh, they're doing great. Like, not at all getting fucked up. That's ass. A jitty? There we go. Keep training pick locking. Might as well sneak now. Oh, more crabs. More crabs coming in. Just, it's absolute carnage out here because of these soldier bots just not going down. But, you know, it's all good. All well. Oh, he picked it. Oh, he picked it. Oh.
As I was looting the Workland shop above the soldier bots, they were just causing carnage. Their sets were, I believe, in the 60s to 70s, I think 80s maybe. They were really hard, and they were just fighting wave after wave of enemies down there while I was looting the place they were
lowest here,
supposed to defend.
the ruin.
It's
You can
pretty
actually
crazy.
work your way up. Just depends how technically unlucky you are. It's kind of cool. But back to the fighting. Let's see what's going on. Oh, is that it? Oh shit. Good thing I'm sneaking. Oh shit, crab's back up. Never mind. Soldier bots are scrambling to get these guys out. And these are the screamer robots. The one who's talking, whose stove is. Oh shit. I don't think they knocked down a single skeleton. And it's just death over here. What's going on with this? What's good? Oh, okay. Oh. What the hell? Pick failed. I don't like how they're running about. Oh shit. They're removing more people.
Picking the first box, I found myself an ancient science book and a topper, which I thought about grabbing, but I didn't really want to grab it at all.
Okay. I'm like all down for the weapons, but I can't really. Okay, back over here. Ugh. Are you sitting down? You were sitting down.
To the second box, the soldier bots found me, and I obviously started to get the
Oh, that's enough.
shit knocked out of me. And all while that happened, an elder crab came out of nowhere and just started laying out damage numbers left and right, doing numbers close to the hundreds. And I just looped around. Kind of a dumb idea. I looped around and decided to start picking the lock again, and they followed me back up. These soldier bots are very, very, very picky about who they want let in their workshop, and that includes nobody but them. I started to fight them a little bit. They didn't do a lot of damage, and I had my crossbow on me, and they were hurt from all of the fighting they've been doing. So I thought I could get a little sneaky kill in.
They're all dead now.
Kind of dumb of me. I was distracted with the crab causing carnage. I got knocked down and brought out of the workshop. They don't like make sure you die. They just really don't want you in the workshop. So as you can see, Pitbull's being drug out, and I get back up and I got hit again. And luckily I was able to stay up and not get put into KO. And they just started chasing me after that. The crab started to leave, and then he came back, and I was trying to get his attention to come back and deal with the soldier bots.
Holy shit. Holy fuck. How fast do you run? Wait, we have to set this up.
I brought the crab back into the action, got a little action scene out of it, but I brought him back to deal with the soldier bots. And he was a lot faster than me, so I was glad he focused the soldier bots and not me. It worked out in my favor in the first half, and then he decided to come after me, and yeah, this is when I realized that he was faster than me. I had to drop all of my things to run around him and get him off of my tail.
Get the fuck away from me. Please, go away. No, go away. I don't like you.
Luckily, after the crab fiasco, I was able to come back, and all the soldier bots were pretty weak, and I was able to start picking the locks and training off of these guys. I felt a lot safer getting knocked down because they just drugged me out, and I could just train off these guys and get some loot out of their base. Pitbull gets his shit kicked out of him here for a little bit, but he turns around when I decide to use just like my crossbow to, you know, cheese the game as per usual with me, because I love doing that with this game. After visiting that workshop and causing all the chaos that didn't need to happen, we continued. Pitbull and I continued down the road. We made it out with a couple of engineering research and a couple of ancient science books, but you know, we wanted to continue. It wasn't enough, and I wanted to show all of you guys the whole area out here. wanting to show off another faction HQ out here in the pits. You can really see the state of this area as scavengers and crab raiders are fighting underneath the acid rain, and I am just caught up in the middle of all of this. Poor Pitbull can't catch a break, as you can see, and we get knocked down because I'm very weak. But we decide to push through. It's just scavengers. They don't really hurt us, do they? They don't hit us that hard.
Get him. Yeah, cut him up. Cut him up, cut him up, cut him up. Oh shit, I actually got him. Heal myself up. I don't see anybody with a backpack, so. Just attack him. Oh boy. Now we're fighting crab raiders now, but I don't really have a choice. I'm over encumbered, so I just gotta take the beating. At least these guys won't rob anything from me, which is, you know, annoying. We'll just, 59 toughness, which is just annoying. Like, okay. 16, 60. Perfect. No. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, look at that. 35.
After
defense is 57.
cleverly dicing up that scavenger, Pitbull gets
climbing up fast. So.
completely covered by crab raiders, and we're over encumbered, under leveled,
32.
and already weak. So we just let them run us up. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna say that. We keep getting back up though. We keep pushing to get to their faction HQ because they treat us so nicely and full of kindness.
I'm gonna take down the crab. Just heal yourself up. Stop. Heal your chest up. I don't want you to get fucking KO'd. Yeah. Let's continue our journey. Let's show off. I'll see you guys when we make it to the actual faction HQ of the crab raiders, at least, because that's the last like settlement that's worth seeing out here. So yeah, and we're getting chased by never mind, they stopped chasing us. That's good. They stopped chasing us. Okay, you'll see me when I'm there. So it says we've discovered a settlement. So we're heading there right now. We were getting consistently attacked by gurglers though, so yeah, and we had to walk by a couple elder crabs, that's for sure. But you know, nothing bad, and we just kill him real quick. And here is, what is it? It's not going to tell us yet. They should let us in. And there is a unique person we can grab from here, but I don't
After completely getting destroyed by the crab raiders, we go to the faction HQ and they kind of welcome us. If I had a crab, they would definitely be willing to talk to me a lot more. This is like the only place in the area where you can actually trade. As you can see, there's a bar, and there's actually a unique recruit here. Her name is Lumi. She loves crabs, and you can just talk to her. Recruit her for free, I believe so. The Crab Queen is here, the faction leader for the Crab Raiders, and somebody we got to fight later on, as due to the challenge rules. You know what I decide to do? First thing when I get into a new place is steal things, and I'm immediately gonna go start picking locks, and I'm very glad I did. All good things though. Just going to the bar, fighting bar thugs. Lumi is down in the bottom. I show her off here in a second, but you can see there's Lumi, and there's Pitbull fighting somebody in front of Lumi. Kenshi really shows itself here. A bar full of life in a corner of the map, and a weird town filled with a cult of crab lovers, and you can have a conversation like this with a twitchy bar thug. It's just awesome.
What?
Really like this game, and I feel like
Oh,
this
here
is
we
one
go
of the high
again.
points it
Oh,
offers.
drop some
After scouting out
repairs.
the Crab Raiders, Crab City, or
I
whatever,
just have a feeling.
I continue down the coast,
Gonna be
carrying
more
a
issues with
gurgler on my
everything.
back
Okay.
just to get some strength training in, and I
What is
run
there,
across
people?
another armory.
Who
So
is?
before
Oh,
going back to the Crab City, I decide
okay.
to come
Oh,
into
he lost all of
come in
his
and break into this
pets.
place first because it's not full of people.
Uh-huh.
But it's obviously full of something else, and I should have thought more. Before breaking into this place, I decided to show my skills for day 12. They're not too bad, they're pretty good, but they can be better.
What the fuck's in here? Is there? Oh, what the fuck? Of course, of course, of course. Holy shit, holy shit. Okay. Um, well, this is where we drop absolutely everything because we are going to die. Run. Okay, good. They stopped chasing. So that's good. Oh my god, they're attacking again. Okay, come here. Come up here. Run, just run outside. Just run outside. Where the hell are they going? I don't know where they're going. Going after something. They're going after something, obviously. Like, what the hell are they doing? What are you doing? Most of them.
After luring most of the spiders out, I can actually finally loot the armory. I'm not fighting a bunch
Oh,
of
thank God.
spiders,
Okay,
they're gonna
that's huge, actually.
completely
Bugs and
destroy me.
beetles.
I find a couple books, and I get to lock picking
Okay.
the locks.
Picking locks time. Pick our locks. Pick our locks. Let's see what we get for loot. Okay, nothing. Empty. A saber, which we're not taking. What about you? 83. Okay. We're not taking that. Barrel. Oh. Oh.
Notable thing I find is a Masterwork Mercenary Leather
I don't
Armor.
know
This is
what's with
pretty
the
nice.
leather. Just pick up all of my things.
After not finding really anything from that useless armory, I'm gonna go
One
explore
book.
up to Green Beach because
One book.
last time I tried to go to Green Beach,
This
it
is
didn't
gonna be
go
a
as
hard one
well.
for sure.
I got killed by a bunch of crabs, so I'm gonna try again.
We'll get in on those for sure. Attack some big things too.
Well, I made it to Green Beach, and there's only a crab raider
Drop a book.
settlement,
Come
a
on.
couple beak things. They walk around here, and I decided to
Like
help
the only skeleton
fight
in
the
here.
beak
So
things
cool.
with the crab raiders. There's really not much out in
Um,
Green Beach. It's kind of sad. I mean, it's kind of pretty. There's some nice landscapes to it, but really for the run, it never really added anything to the run,
Down
and
on them.
it was just kind of a waste of time.
Oh.
I pick up this beak thing and drag it away. Although I never actually ended up doing anything with like the beak thing. Uh, what's it like the beak thing exploit where you put it into the sleeping bag? I didn't really want to do that. But just in case, I did carry it with me for a little bit. But there is no need. There is no need for it at all.
That's in Green Beach. I don't know if there's anything up here. Might as well everything else.
After looking over all my capital back at base after Green Beach, I decided to head back here.
But we need more books.
You can see that all of my things fit into a singular tier 1
18.
research bench.
Armor and
So back to Pitbull,
yeah,
and I think I decided to go to Iron HQ to get some healing done. Pretty beat up after that long expedition, and we just don't want to be so weak, especially in the chest, because everyone likes getting everyone likes hitting Pitbull in the chest.
Want to check out our chief?
It's
There's anything
it
good
kind of
here, since I
sucks, and
know
this is
it's in
like the first time I ever got hit in the head. I swear to God. After pausing the recording and going to Iron HQ, I decided to hit up one of the places that's actually in the pits that I didn't look at the first go around. And it was a pretty big mistake, but all I can say was the XP was really, really nice. There is a place like this in the Deadlands that is a ruined armory type of building that has a bunch of these soldier bots in it that will actually follow you and help you with whatever you basically like free mercenaries that are permanent. Um, they're kind of a weird character in the game of Kenshi. Their codes are errors, and that was my cat in the background. Um, their names are like code errors, and they just yell police. And but these guys, they attack you and they yell police. The other guys are like protect the master or whatever. So it was kind of a big surprise to have a bunch of these mid-tier enemies to fight for a bunch of XP. And as you can see, Pitbull's doing pretty well. I'm a little lacking in the camera recording department. This is probably why I'm not ever gonna be a cameraman in real life. But you can see Pitbull fighting, and it's just something to enjoy with the new cinematic camera that Kenshi brought in. Really needed to be in the game a long time ago. Pitbull gets knocked down a couple times. The robots keep coming back up, and a little way through, a couple sniper bots come through and just heal all the dudes. But they don't have repair kits themselves. But you can see we're in a bit of a pickle because every time I try to get up, they hit me again and again and again. But Pitbull does eventually get out. He can sneak out, and I realized that after a little bit, which is a total cheese anyone can do, I feel like, is if you lay low and sneak and get up and stay on the ground, they'll just yell police at you, but they won't actually attack you and down you. So I was able to heal on the ground, but really no loot from this area. You can see the sniper bot right there healing all the dudes, which kind of sucks. I do steal his outfit and put it onto the um, one of the soldier bots here because as you can see their pants are dyed blue, and I wanted that for myself. So if you just like put the rags that the sniper bot has onto the I don't know, we'll just call him the soldier bot's body, it dyes them a nice dark blue. So I do that, but I don't think I'm gonna show that. There's really nothing here. All it was just constant training and getting knocked down and training my toughness. In fact, I think from after this, my toughness was like at 78, 76. So we'll see what happens afterwards. But this part was just a lot of me yelling because I thought the situation was more dire than it actually was, and I was really annoyed with this sniper bot standing over me because he will attack me as soon as I get up. Unlike the police bots.
They just keep coming after me.
Yeah, this place was pretty dire because every time I would get up, all of the robots would stop fighting whatever they were fighting and come to me. As you could, yeah, just look at it, and it was so annoying to deal with. But I eventually got my fair bit of XP out of it and got my shit rocked and got out of it alive too, which was the biggest part. But oh my lord. After, visiting that place in the pits, I go to the other point of interest in the pits way back at the start of the run because I had no lock picking experience and I wasn't dealing with a bunch of spiders. But now that Pitbull is a little bit more kitted out, we can truly say that we can loot this place, right? And with all of its goodies, of course. But just like the other armory all the way up in the pits east, it's shit. There's nothing in here, not worth showing or anything, and a bunch of freaking spiders, which is we just gotta love all the spiders. After leaving the armory of emptiness, we decide to do some home invasion now. Pitbull's a little bit stronger. We go all in on a little reaver camp we found north of the crags, north of Iron HQ, up out here. Just a little bit more training. We're actually able to stay alive and fight the reavers pretty reliably. In fact, I'm okay with them getting me close to getting knocked down. As long as they don't hit my legs, I'm able to fight them pretty well. And as you can
Keeping
see,
tabs
as
on
per
my health
usual,
because
my
I don't
chest
want
is
to,
just the only
die.
thing actually getting
Look,
hit
somebody just hit my
more than
chest more
anything
than
else.
anything.
And it kind of sucks because if the combat was more rounded out, the fights would be a lot more cinematic and last a lot longer. But
It's
you
not
know,
even like
it's
a lot
just
of
not
damage.
like
It's
that.
just they hit
It's
it.
the
They don't do a lot of damage. It's just they hit it arguably so much more than anything else.
yeah, arguably so much more than anything else, as
4
you
damage
know,
over
according
and over
Gavin
again.
says. And taking out that Reaver camp pretty easily, Pitbull is able to actually fight for himself, as you can see, in just 7 days with the constant training, and especially with that one armory down in the pit with a bunch of those soldier robots. We're able to get up to 60 attack and 64 defense. The real stats would be like 55 attack and 67 attack defense. We're able to fight these bounty hunters and actually get some, you know, miscellaneous equipment like the dust coat, the desert sabers. I found a Nodachi too, which, you know, Pitbull loves his katanas more than anything else since we're fighting a bunch of skeletons. And so it was just all in all like a good day for training. Nothing really to show. There's just a bunch of fighting. I'll show it right here. Pitbull's committing a crime, but, you know, can't really give him a bounty for any of this.
It looks like he has the best one. I think they're all Katoon though. Oh heck yeah. Who is texting me while I'm fighting? I'll let you guys watch this fight. It seems like we're winning.
So yeah, able to cut through and slice with the Nodachi. Cool. It's really cool to see him come from getting beat to beating, especially cutting up with the Nodachi here, this big katana. You gotta love the more combat animations. It's honestly a really nice mod, and I think if any seasoned Kenshi player wants to add a little bit of spice, they should get this mod, or even new players. They should get this mod. It just makes fighting so much cooler. This is where Pitbull gets his black armored rags that he wears and that I got. I thought they were blue, but that was the robots. This is the black outfit. This is Pitbull in the flesh, and it's so cool that you can do this, and I love it so much. But for right now, he wears the dust coat, but we have the black armored rags, which he will don here soon enough. Back at the Pitbull's base, we are expanding. We're making a shack, which means I have to farm the building materials to make this shack. So we're not going to show any of that, but we're going to show that, yeah, we place it because we need a bigger house for a bigger research bench. And everything's going smoothly for Pitbull at this point in time on here on day 18. And finally, after not even building it, just farming some materials, I show off the last, briefly, the last bit, or the last faction HQ, my bad. Last faction HQ and diplomatic leader of the pits, which is Ark, and the leader of the Reavers being Valamon. I get ran out, and I never really showed the recording. I do run back in, but they're really strong, and it's definitely the biggest and the strongest base out here in the middle of nowhere, and so we gotta fight that. For us, we have to fight that for the challenge to be concluded. I just feel like it's right, saying this. They're all bad people, and it's great. It's gonna be a long road ahead of us, but we do eventually go back. And like I said, I didn't unfortunately get any footage, but you know, you can see they have that big scrap house building. It's the biggest. It's the biggest settlement out here by far. You know, compared to none, compared to the Crab Raiders HQ, which is nothing compared to Ark.